We continue to preview the 2025 college volleyball season. Our next stop is Orange City, Iowa, as we get to visit with Coach Kyle Vanden Bosch, who is heading into year 21 as the head volleyball coach for the Northwestern Red Raiders. Coach, thank you for stopping by today. A fantastic season last year. I want to start right there. 32-1 overall. You all were ranked number one. I mean, the majority of the season, once you got some matches going and people saw what you all could do. Number one throughout the season. 16-0 in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Another fantastic achievement as well. You fall in pool play on the final site of the NAIA National Tournament. Tell us a little bit about 2024. Just one loss on the year.
Yeah, it was a really special year. A ton of fun. We were coming off the season before. We played the national championship game and lost in the fifth set and had quite a few of our players returning. And so, overall, it was pretty smooth. Everybody kind of filled into their roles, won some close games along the way against some good opponents. And, just had a ton of fun. The girls were a mature group. They really enjoyed each other. So smooth was probably one of the words I'd probably use. It was just everything just was pretty smooth throughout the year, and girls enjoyed each other and just made it a ton of fun. And if you don't win the national championship, you always are a little bummed.
Yeah.
And so, we obviously wish we could have gone a little further and felt like we had a team to go a little further, but for whatever reason, that match was not our best match. And, postseason, when you don't have your best match, there's so many good teams there, they take advantage of it. So one of those things we'll have to live with, but we look back, ton of fun and a bunch of great girls to coach.
Yeah, it was a very tough field in 2024. I understand that. You use the word smooth. So let me ask you about that. You won 97% of your matches last year. So when you're going through the spring and, obviously there's some players who are moving on, players that are coming back in spring and even in the summer, what do you tweak? If you've won 97% of them, what do you tweak? A smooth season like that, are there things that you look at and say, okay, we focused on this last year, this is what we need to focus on again?
Yeah, like every year you graduate and hopefully, being in a good program, every year you graduate great players. That's just going to be part of it. And so so each year you kind of have a new team. You got a new group of girls, they got new roles. Some girls might get set a little bit more the next year just because, we might need to balance things out a little bit differently. So, but we still try to make the foundation things of our program, the foundation things. We want to be a group of players that high energy, encourage each other really well, ball control well, and then, help players get better in the off season. If they're working hard in the weight room and then learning some new techniques, we just want them to get better. And then we play some teams in the spring too, to allow the girls to kind of show how they've gotten better. Then throughout the summer, they're trying to work to get into great shape, to fine tune their skills. And then, away we go again and try to put a team together.
Well, you've been putting more of the staff together as well, a pretty solid staff there at Northwestern. And the news this week is that you added to that, bringing in Charity Browning. She spent the last couple of years at Lindsey Wilson. Talk about your staff.
Yeah, we're excited to add Charity. It was our previous assistant, Kelsey Hoffman, stepped out around May. She needed to head back home. We supported her in that, so just looking for the right fit. And Charity, with her experience, man, she's been an assistant for 2 years. She's been a head coach at a high school. She's been an admissions counselor. So she checked all the boxes, that I was looking for in an assistant, and as well as she's strong in her faith. She wants to help our girls grow in their faith, mentor them, and so we think we got a great hire, and I'm excited for her to hit the ground running because she's going to have to learn names and our system pretty quickly here. Usually you hire an assistant in January, February. They got the whole off season to kind of get to learn everything, but I'm sure she'll do a phenomenal job. And then we have our JV coach, Jamie Shar. She's an experienced high school coach for 15 years. And then we have a couple of volunteers, Caitlin Hogaveen, who set for us back in 2008, 2009, 2010 range. And then Lacey Wrights is also an assistant, just volunteers off on the side. So all of that, I feel pretty blessed for the type of people we have helping our players.
That's always good to hear. But look ahead to 2025 then as Coach Browning's getting to know some names. I'm sure that she probably knows Xavier Metzger by now and probably knew that name coming in. She won the Dewar Award for you all, and congratulations to her on that. Led the country in blocks per set and total blocks in 2024. From right there in the middle, tell us what she brings to the table.
Yeah, first off, winning the Dewar Award, that's not easy to do. You got to be good in a lot of areas, from community service to, probably being an All-American to being really high with your grades. And she checks all those boxes. So excited for her to win that award. And we'll see what happens on the national scene for that. But yeah, blocking for Xavier is the thing she's done the best. Averaging almost 2 blocks a set is almost unheard of. I think second place was maybe 1.4, 1.5. So she just dominated that area. The last 2 years, she's been a staple for us there. A lot of times teams don't game plan for blockers, but I think teams game plan for Xavier to how they're going to hit around her, those types of things. So, so she'll be a foundation piece of our defense once again. And then her offense just keeps getting better by the year. So we're probably going to ask a little more of her offensively this year with losing our 2 outsides that got a lot of swings for us. So, and she's excited to take on that responsibility also for our team.
We're visiting now with Coach Kyle Vanden Bosch from Northwestern here on Midwest Sports Net. And I encourage you, please take some time, like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. We enjoy talking about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond. Coach, one of the stories, too, that came out this past season was a milestone story talking about the combined wins between you and your father, Tom, who's head coach at Dordt for a number of years, combined for more now than 1,000 victories between the two of you. So I just wanted to give a shout out there to you and to your father as well. That's a great story, and it's a nice milestone between the two of you. You go back to you mentioned setting things up, and you bring back setters for 2025, and what a stellar duo in Liv Reitzma and Logan Miller to have them both coming back again for another year.
Yeah, that's not always the case, running a 6.2 the last 3 years. And yeah, those two have done it together. Liv would be a senior, Logan a junior. So yeah, they're a good group. They've done a good job for us. Whenever you get your setters back, that's always pretty good. The things a little smoother than that way.
You talked about the fact that there's going to be a gap, at least from the points production. Well, those attacking. Jaslyn Dalma, Allison Dexter, both have graduated, moved on. So there's an opportunity there. Who gets to step up?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to win those spots out. We got a group of girls that, have been working hard and really would like to earn, one of those spots. And obviously I don't have to make that call until the first match. And so we'll kind of see how it all plays out. And we think we got, 3 or 4 that are really good. So excited to see and how we kind of put it together. They each have strengths that they do. Some are, maybe a little better ball control. Some might be a little better finishing points. So they each bring something a little bit different. And then obviously it's our job as a staff to put the right girls out there. That's the best combo. We also graduated Savon Sturk, who was our right side for 3 years, and she was a handful, hit 400 last year. So she's another piece that, so three of our top hitters there. They scored a lot of points for us. So, but we're excited about the group that we have, and we hope we can get another group going here.
Coach, and again, I know you don't have to make that call till the first match, but you also graduate from the back row too. Talk a little bit about your defense there.
Yeah, our libero last year was Jory Hayek, and did a great job for us. And then Jazz Dalma played 6 rotations, so those two did a lot back there. And then the other girl that played back row was Stella Winterfield, and she was a libero at South Dakota State for a year. So we had a pretty stellar group back there. And then now Stella's looking to try to fill in one of those 6 rotation spots. So we'll kind of see how it all shakes out. But I think our DS group has been working as hard as any of trying to earn a spot, and they get extra reps a lot. And so we're kind of seeing who's going to take that on, and we want it to be competitive. We want it to be something that, the girl that does win it out, that everybody's supporting her and challenging her to get better all the time. So, yeah, we got a lot more question marks this year, I would say, Joey, coming in, that's for sure.
Well, with those question marks, we've learned already a lot about the program, and again, I appreciate you mentioning that it's a call you don't have to make until the first match. We'll look at your schedule in just a moment, but as we've been getting to know coaches this summer, the question throughout the summer has been, what is your favorite 80s song or 80s band?
Yeah, maybe Bon Jovi would probably be one. Some songs that pop up probably there would be, Living on a Prayer, maybe. Sometimes you feel like that as a coach, but maybe Bon Jovi would probably be the one.
Okay. And I think you're right too. I think that's a very appropriate song for coaches, because I'm sure there are some nights that definitely falls into place. Okay, the season, as I mentioned earlier, gets started very quickly. Siouxland Invitational. So the travel isn't too far there to go over to Sioux City, and then a little bit farther, again, not too far, down to Omaha for the Labor Day Classic before the GPAC schedule gets underway. Tell us a little bit about 25's schedule.
Yeah, it's a great schedule. Obviously, you have the GPAC conference. That's going to be obviously really, really good. But the tournaments that we have set up, I think we have really good teams to play. That first tournament in Sioux City, Jessica at Morningside's done a good job of attracting some good programs to come in, and probably the team that's highlighted in that one is McPherson. They were a national tournament team last year. Almost made it out of pool play, had a great 5-setter. So they're a feisty outfit. They're really good. So that's probably the premier one. But you've been around these college sports. You don't overlook anybody. Get to these tournaments. Everybody's pretty good to start with. And especially early on, there's a lot of hope, that first tournament or two. Everybody's pretty excited, so everybody's feeling pretty good. Then we go down to Omaha the following weekend, and we get some powerhouses there. We get the 2-time national champion Indiana Wesleyan, and they still got their All-American setter and All-American outside coming back. So they'll be loaded. We get Eastern Oregon, which is a perennial top 10 team. So those are the two highlighted ones probably, but the other ones that we get to play are obviously excellent programs. And then about 2 weeks later, we head down to Park University and play Park, Oklahoma Wesleyan and Kansas Wesleyan. So some of those teams in the KCAC and the Heart that are really, really elite teams. So we felt like last year we played some good teams, but probably not enough top 10 teams. So we kind of sought out to play even a little tougher schedule this year to maybe get a few calluses and a few things that we're going to have to work through to hopefully just make us tough as can be, that we get to the tournament time. We've seen about everything that we could see, and we're heading out to Viterbo for a match, and you go out there and that's going to be a fight for 2 hours, that you just walk out of there battered and bruised, and it's always a ton of fun, but man, it's not easy. So I feel like our off-season schedule or our non-conference schedule is really, really high level this year.
I like that phrase too. Get some calluses. So I may borrow that, Coach. I may even give you credit for it, but I may not. I don't know. Anyway, Coach Kyle Vanden Bosch, thank you so much, sir, for taking time with us today, previewing the Northwestern Red Raiders. And again, a fantastic year in 24, a great tenure as you head in now to decade number 3. I don't know how that sits for you, Coach, but heading into your 3rd decade now. We'll follow the Red Raiders this year, and thank you again for taking time with us.
Thanks for having me, Joey.